Well, hello everybody, Vicky here. As you can see, we're up to number 7 in the 100 makes to... Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm doing tags. I'll tell you about that in a minute. The reason why I'm just about ready to burst out laughing is this is the second take of this. And when I stopped it, I've done a real grumble and oh, what are you doing, Vic? What do you think you're doing? And Louis looked up at me. He's asleep and he's turned around and he's given me the most filthiest look. I'm in trouble from the miniature fox terrier. He didn't appreciate my tone. But I think we're safe now. He's curled up and gone back to sleep. Oh, that was just a really funny moment I had to share. Anyway, getting back to the business of the day. Number 7 in our 100 makes. And I've got a whole bunch, like what I just showed you in that little basket there. I don't know how many tags there are there, but they've all been matted, I guess, with a layer of serviette or napkin, depending on what part of the world you come from. And it's the top layer of the serviette with the one or two layers, the white layers under it removed. So this spotted paper that I'm gluing it onto, it's a 12 by 12 single-sided scrapbooking paper. And what I do with all the papers that I know I'm never going to use, I put them through the coffee vat when I'm doing papers for journal pages. I put some of these through. There always seems to be, I don't know where they come from, all these papers that I don't know how I got here, and things I know I'll never use. So by putting them through the coffee dyeing, it gives me a useful piece of paper to be able to use, and that's one way of using up things that otherwise would just sit there. So what I'm doing here is, it's like I'm speed creating, isn't it? I nearly said speed dating. That was the first word that my brain associated with speed. I've never done speed dating in my life. But anyway, so what I've done is I've taken a selection of them and I've inked them, and then I've gone round them with gold. So sort of like doing it as a bit like a production line at the moment. I have had the good sense not to try and do all of them, I think. But now what I'm going to be doing is I'm just sorting them all out, sort of like to like. So they're all glued down, napkin, and I think I've glued them over a book page. So there's a book page and then there's a serviette that's gone on top of the book page. Sorry, it's a while since I've done those and I just forgot for a moment. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to be sewing around all of them and just getting all the stitching done. Like I said, doing like well, it's a mass make, isn't it? I would call it a production line, but it means the same. So I've done all the sewing, and it's out of the way now. There's no point you seeing every single minute of the stitching. It's going through the sewing machine. Now this is my modelling paste and it is starting to go off. So my advice to everybody, including myself, and this is the year that I've promised myself that I'm going to forge ahead and stop being scared and have a play with everything that I've got and the things that I would like to do. Because as you can see, this tub of modelling paste, it is starting to go hard. So I don't think that it's going to last long enough for me to be able to use it all. So there will be some wastage in there. If I had been using it regularly from when I bought it, that wouldn't have happened. But that's okay. We'll just deal with what it is now and move ahead. So I'm going through with all the tags that I've got now, and I'm just putting just making marks, just getting some modelling paste down onto the tags. And I think they call this punchinella, or this might be some sort of drywall that come from the hardware store. I'm not 100% what it is, but it's kind of like a found stencil. It wasn't created to be a stencil. It might have been that stuff you use when you want to do plasterboard. I think Americans call it drywall. Just the normal plaster walls that we have in our homes. I think that's what this tape is, but it doesn't really matter. We can find stencils and mark making tools all around the house, and the kitchen department in the thrift stores, the dollar stores, the cheap shops that we call them here, they have all sorts of wonderful little things that make groovy little marks. We don't have to be paying huge amounts of monies of things, because once manufacturers put the craft label on it, it seems that it automatically goes up considerably. So I'm still just finding difference. Now this is a stencil, so I'm just going through, just using a few different stencils, a few different things, just to get some modelling paste onto these tags. And I love this. I love this serviette. It is beautiful, and as you can see, it yields quite a few different tags, and they really, I don't know, it's just been made for this sort of thing more than it is for wiping your mouth when you finish eating. It's a little bit too pretty for that, really. And the other thing too that need to be really disciplined about is when you finish using your stencils, when you're using modelling paste, once you stop using your stencils, you have to wash them. And if you're like me and don't want to be getting up and down in the middle of what you're doing to wash, I have a little tub. It's actually an old kitchen container. It's about an A4, a little bit smaller than an A4, and it's only got about a 2-inch side on it, and it's got a lid. So what I do is I bring that in and I have it full with some soapy water, and as soon as I know I'm done with the stencil, I will pop it into there so that the modelling paste won't go hard, and you'll be able to wash them out properly. Best not to wash them down the sink, because some people, and I remember hearing this from Amy Aljon, she said be very careful about washing these things down the sink, because they will harden and eventually they will block up the drains. She suggests putting the water and different mediums that we've got into kitty litter, and then when the kitty litter dries, you just pop it in the bin, which is a very clever idea. So I've finished with all the stenciling and the modelling paste. So now what I'm doing is I'm just using some sprays. I have, once again, a huge amount. I have a lot of sprays, and actually it got to the point where, as much as I would have loved to have got the Tim Holtz oxide and distress sprays, I have been very good and not bought any. I figured that by the time I get through all the ones that I've got, then I can go, and if I want to restock with those, I can. Now these ones that I'm mainly trying to use up at the moment are a brand called Little Birdie, and I know that in our Choice variety stores, I'm similar to Dollar Tree or Pound Store, they were carrying the Little Birdie stock. I'm not sure if that's still the case. I've had these sprays. Well, we've been in this house 5 years, and I'm pretty sure, with the exception of one, I haven't bought any sprays at all. And I've still got, now there is one where I had every spray that they had. They might have added to it by now, but there's no need. There's just no need. They're all sitting there. They're all beautiful. They're all waiting for me to use them. I can just be thankful that they haven't started to go off. I bought the paints as well. Remember, they came out in those little round pots. Beautiful, amazing colours. But the pots, they were they went dry because the lid, the opening was so big, it dried the paints out. Well, I think I must have thrown out at least half that range, the original range, and I've sort of been learning my lesson ever since. Just just monitor what you want and what you need and what you will use, and then get a little bit of variety of a few different things instead of a lot the same. But it seems that the spray's keeping really well. Now, I don't know if I'm pretty sure at some stage I got out the Lindy Stamp Gang sprays, and they are really a class of their own. They've got a mica powder in them, and they really do shimmer and shine. Now, as much as I love those birds, you can see in the top right there, I'm not happy with the way that spray's gone on, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do anything about that. So I might have to carefully and strategically place a few embellishments where it just, I don't like it the way it's sort of like gone up and above the the the, the diamonds. So what I'm doing, because I did actually figure out that I didn't like the way the sprays were going on, to just take the lids off and dribble some of the ink on to where I wanted it to go, because I was looking more for the sprays to get in between and around all the little cracks that's in the stenciling, so you can see it look like stones there. So rather than spray it on and have it go where I didn't really want it to go, I remembered that was the way I used to always do it. I just find I don't have enough control when I'm spraying, and then I'm just putting like a concentrate of ink on those cards and using the water to move it. Now, I wasn't really happy with this one. I wasn't pleased with the stencil. I just, it didn't work as well as what I would have liked it to have. But for the most part, I can see the butterflies over to my left where I've sprayed it. It wasn't the look that I was going for. So this is the same stencil that I'm working on now, and I'm back to just using the what do you call it, the little plastic hose, I guess, and then just spraying it to get it to come up. I wasn't that happy with the way that went at all. I don't think it was the right sort of stencil to try and do what I was doing. And that the piece of paper that's under me, I think I say this every time or most times, I tend to always have, it's a waste piece of paper, so on the back of that it's got some sort of printed matter. It could be in regards to anything, but I hold the, now I'm just putting out, yeah, there you go. So what I did is I went through and I put modelling paste through stencils on all of them, absolutely all of them, and it's dawned on me that with me trying to do the 100-day, one a day makes, that there were just far too many tags for me to get through. So these are the ones that I've been working on rather than try and push it out too far. So I'm happy with those three, and I'm just going to take these out because I just can't leave alone and have a little play with that. But getting back to my piece of paper that I always have under there, I usually end up punching out butterflies or using it as collage paper. So you can see there that's looking quite really heavy with ink, and I probably should have stopped using that before it got that darkness about it. But by the time I punch that out and put some white or gold splatters across it, it would look really nice as little butterflies or some sort of leaf or collage. Rather, that's all that's on that paper is normally just product that we throw out. So it's like, why not try and capture it and use it a little bit? It won't always work out, but it's worth trying. Just need to change it over a little bit more often than what I've done here. So I'm just spraying on some orange now, and I'm pretty sure I've gone over now to the Lindy's Stamp Gang. They look like a taller bottle, and I'm just trying to get some colour on there, and then I believe I'm going to get some gold, and I'm going to try and get it. So to give you an idea, when I'm saying about what you buy, Lindy's come to you with the powder, mica powder, and the dye in the bottle, and then we just add the water. There's a fill mark on the side, and it's a really good idea because it means we're not paying the weight of the water, when all we've got to do is just put water in and give it a shake. Now, like I said, we've been here over 5 years now, and these haven't been used. So they're going back years, 5, 6, even 7 years, and I haven't even added water to them yet. So that kind of gives you an indication of what happens when you just keep buying stuff. And this year is all about exploring the whole mixed media, diva in me, and playing and giving myself permission to get it wrong, to get it right, and just be me. And if you don't like what I'm doing, that's okay. That's okay. There's an off button. I'm just trying to get the gold in through there now. So I am having fun doing it all. I do apologise that I'm lacking a little bit of discipline. I do apologise for the times when I lack discipline. There are times when I just can't do it, and that's all there is to it. But yeah, I'm being a bit naughty about getting them up. I have got a lot done in the days that I haven't been putting videos up, and I will try to get better. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video. So you take care of yourself, be kind to you, and be kind to the person standing next to you. And bye for now.